If you want to know if your business idea is a good one, asking people directly is the worst possible strategy because they will lie to you. They don't mean any harm, they just want to protect your feelings. But those well-intentioned lies are dangerous. Startups routinely burn through their cash and go bankrupt because founders mistake polite compliments for actual market demand. To get the truth, you have to use a method called the mom test. This is an approach to talking to customers where you ask questions so carefully crafted that people reveal the exact truth about their problems without ever realizing you're interviewing them. To build your own mom test conversation guide, grab a blank piece of paper or open a new document and divide it into 4 empty sections. By the end of this video, you'll have a finished framework for extracting market data that remains accurate even when the person you're talking to is trying to be polite. Step 1. Label the first quadrant of your document, who and where. Most founders start with a target audience but is entirely too broad. If you define your market as everyone or college students, you end up talking to people with vastly different motivations, and the feedback you get will be a chaotic, contradictory mess. You need to apply a process called customer slicing. This means taking a broad demographic and narrowing it down repeatedly until you identify a specific group of people you can physically locate. Take our students example. That's too broad. If we slice it down to grad students, we are getting closer, but we still don't know exactly where to find them or what their immediate problems are. So we slice it one more time. PhD students giving a talk at the university center. Now we have a highly motivated group, and we know exactly where they will be on Tuesday afternoon. Write your specific who and where pair in the first quadrant. This combination identifies exactly which physical or digital room you need to enter to start a relevant conversation. Move to the second quadrant. This is where you will draft the 3 big questions you need to ask this group. The first rule of the mom test applies here. The conversation must be about your customer's life. Do not mention your idea. The second rule is that your questions must focus exclusively on specific actions they took in the past. You must completely avoid asking for their opinions about the future. Here is what a bad, future-focused question looks like. Would you pay $40 for an iPad cookbook app? The customer will optimistically say yes to make you happy, giving you a completely useless data point known as fluff. A correctly formulated question asks, what is the last cookbook you actually bought? If they answer that they haven't bought one in 3 years, you have extracted a concrete fact about their spending habits. Take a moment to pause the video and draft your 3 questions. Look closely at what you wrote and immediately delete any question that begins with the phrase, would you ever? Hypothetical questions invite comforting lies. Analyzing how a customer actually spent their time or money in the past gives you a reliable predictor of what they will purchase in the future. In the third quadrant, write down your excuse for initiating the conversation. You want to avoid the meeting anti-pattern. If you explicitly ask someone for a formal interview, their defenses go up, and they will give you rigid, unnatural answers. You want a casual chat. To secure that chat without raising alarms, use an outreach framework built on 3 elements: vision, weakness, and pedestal. You state a broad vision of what you are trying to improve, you admit a specific weakness or blind spot you are struggling with, and you put the customer on a pedestal by highlighting their unique expertise. People love to give advice, and this framing gives them a low-pressure reason to help you. Finally, move to the 4th quadrant. This is your deflection plan for managing the conversation once it actually begins. If the person you are talking to says, "I love that idea," you are in trouble. Hearing praise means the meeting is actively failing because you've slipped into a pitch and they are feeding you compliments to get out of it. They will also offer generic fluff statements. For example, they might claim, "I am an inbox zero zealot. I always keep my email perfectly organized." You handle this by anchoring the fluff. The moment you hear a generic claim, counter it by asking for a specific instance. Ask them, when was the last time that system totally fell apart for you? To remind yourself of this, write your final rule in the 4th quadrant. Compliments are worthless. Facts and commitments are gold. Framing the meeting as a simple request for advice and aggressively deflecting any compliments you receive ensures you retain control of the data collection process from start to finish. You now have a complete 4-part conversation guide. This single page provides the structural guardrails needed to keep your next conversation focused on objective data instead of personal opinions. Your homework is to locate one individual who perfectly matches the specific who and where profile you established in quadrant casual message using your established excuse, and secure a simple 10-minute chat with them today. When you sit down with them, execute the meeting without mentioning your idea once. Real market validation doesn't come from pitching your product's future. It comes from deeply understanding your customers'